Yo, what's up guys, back to another video. Today hopefully we're gonna make a lot of progress on getting this subwoofer box done. I've been doing some test fitting with the ring and putting it in the car, and I have to cut away some parts. So basically that part was like interfering with like the cross beam in there. I can show you real quick. It was hidden up in this area, right? So I'm gonna do one last test fit after I'm already done making the cuts now. So if you're doing this, don't build the fiberglass enclosure too tall, like where it curves under the rear strut bar or whatever, because you are gonna have some interference issues like when putting it in. You have to also think about when the enclosure is all finished, because there's gonna be fiberglass all here, all the way down, and that can interfere with a lot of things, or the enclosure could be too tall itself. It's a lot harder in this car because we do have that. Alright, so this is pretty much the fitment with this part shaved down now. I'll show you guys on here. If you look here where the wood is, I'm basically gonna take it from the ring and kind of like follow the outside of that dowel like to the bottom there. And I think that angle should be good for me to slide it in, as long as it's like tapered or it's angled like towards this way or towards that way. Sorry, you couldn't see. Towards that way, and I think I'll be good. And I got a little clearance under the ring here, which is perfect. I can just pull this in tight to there, then I think I'll be straight right there. Everything else is pretty straightforward, but those are my main two concerns. If you do this, definitely consider doing this with like 2 10s instead of like a 12. I gave myself a pretty good challenge trying to work with a 12. So where I am now, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these edges here, all those, and then I'll probably go ahead and mount the feet, and then we can go ahead and do the front side, and then we can reinforce it. We pretty much be good. Alright guys, so I'm done with like my first coat around the pegs. I'm about to go ahead and take this off, and then I'm gonna try to put some resin and a little fiberglass on this, because I don't want the speaker to not sit flush because of this right here. So I'm pretty sure I could get it to, but there's no point in doing that. I think it may eventually put strain on the paracord and cause that to break. So now that this is pretty much fixed and where I want it, and these are as well, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off, and then put some fiberglass resin in there, maybe even wood glue for the dowel itself, and then just get that to like be holding itself or whatever. Like, this is pretty strong where it is right now. I actually put the subwoofer in, and the subwoofer is really heavy, at least for a subwoofer. I think it's about 20 pounds or so, or 15 pounds maybe. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely like a good 20-25 pounds maybe. It's a pretty heavy subwoofer. Yeah, I put the subwoofer in there, and it's able to hold it up. Didn't have to lean on anything, and I'm going to reinforce it just a bit. And I've seen some people like actually put like stuff across here, like wood or something, just to like, I don't know, I think it just help with like the integrity of the box. So I'm going to do that. Just trying to make sure everything's good before I put on this front side, because if I put that on, then it's going to be really hard to access that stuff. I'll have to either like cut a port to get to it, or I don't know. So so that's what I'm going to do now. Gonna go ahead and take this cord off, and then I'm gonna put wood glue and all the other stuff I said. So I'll try to get some footage of it. I know I haven't been recording too much, but I'm trying to give you guys as much advice as possible if you are going to do this, especially in your 350Z. For other cars, it's a lot easier, like at sedans and stuff. A lot of open space to work with, but I'm trying to shimmy around stuff. But it does fit in there fine. It doesn't hit anything, the ring. So I think we're good. And I trimmed up a bit more around here. And then I may like take off some of this masking tape, so that way it doesn't mess with any bonding issues like the resin and fiberglass. But yeah, that's pretty much where we are right now. So wish me luck with that. And then I'll do the second coat around the legs, and then we'll probably go ahead and do the front side. This part I've been waiting for. Alright, just quick update. I sanded off most of the masking tape, and I scuffed it up a bit while I was sanding it, so it should help the resin to adhere to it when I do the front side. I may come through with my DA and just like scuff that up with like maybe some 80 grit. So I ended up taking everything out, put the wood glue in it. I was able to lift it up a bit, just like stretch it up a bit and squeeze the glue in there and set it back in there. And I just put some tape here, just to like hold the weight down a bit because it was like it wasn't fully seating in there. So I put a little weight in there so it sits flush. And once that's finished drying in the next like 20-30 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and fiberglass or like reinforce this there before I flip it. I shouldn't need too much there because all the weight will be holding down, but I just want to put something there just in case. Alright, I'm gonna try to record this quick. I got epoxy all over my hands, or resin. So this is the speaker sitting in there. I ended up putting like this little cross piece in there, threw some fiberglass on top of it. That's currently drying. I also added resin to the little paracord that I did to hold that there because I was trying to fiberglass it in and it kept moving. So I did that. I added resin to that so that will harden. That's just like a extra layer of protection. I threw like a few more coats around the leg. There's like a little fiberglass right there. I think I'm gonna hit that up pretty hard with the resin once I put the fleece over. As far as the fleece goes, I got this from Joann's Fabric or whatever. This is pretty thick fleece. See, and I'm basically gonna pull it tight like this all around here. Try to keep as many wrinkles out, and then staple it as I like pull and try to make it really tight. And then you resin all that. Like you take your subwoofer out, of course, and you resin all this, but not the inside because you can cut it out. And then this should be pretty hard, and it's gonna be basically like that first layer we did of fiberglass, and it's gonna be all really hard, and then it's gonna have its shape at that point. If you guys can kind of see what's happening now, and then the subwoofer will go in afterwards, and then I can wrap the box. Even added more fiberglass up in there because it's a little weak right there. It looked like. So I'm gonna come back after I start rolling on some of the stuff, and yeah, wish me luck at this point. I guess some better shots for you guys. Alright, so I'm pretty much done wrapping it for now. I was gonna be a perfectionist about it, but I tried to get all the wrinkles out, and I ended up I had a pretty big wrinkle here because this is the part where it curves around that one spot. Here, I'll just show you real quick. It's the spot that curves around here, so that's gonna be like up here somewhere, and I'm gonna have to put it back in before I add the fiberglass on top of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and add the resin in a bit. But I'm gonna like basically resin all this to harden. Then I'll just patch this hole with fiberglass. Hopefully I don't have to make it too thick. So I'm already started cutting what I'm not using because there's no point of adding all this down to fiberglass. I mean, yeah, it'll probably like reinforce it a bit, but I have quite a few layers on the inside. And plus you don't want to add too much to the part where you mold it on the outside because then it's already a perfect fit. And if you add any more, then it may not fit. So you're gonna have to like sand and grind all that off. So make sure you're only applying your fiberglass to the outer layer, like pretty much all this stuff where like the air pockets are. That's where you want to be adding fiberglass. But I'm gonna test fit it after I get it all this cut off, like basically the skirt, and I'm gonna staple where it's still kind of hanging, and then we'll go from there. So this is the final step before rolling on the resin. I've already sat it in the car. I'm not gonna put it back in. I don't want it to get dirty again. I added more staples in areas that it was a bit loose. So I've honestly just been pouring like that and mixing with the like the wooden dowels. After I put the hardener in, I'll just mix it with that. Alright, that's gonna pretty much be the wrap for today. I got everything all epoxy or whatever is still pretty tacky or whatever. So I'm gonna let it be for now. Come back tomorrow and then I'll start overlaying some of the fiberglass. It's recommended to do about 3 to 4 layers from the article I read earlier. So I'm gonna do those 3 or 4 layers, and also for the little hole, I end up just getting like some shop towels, or not even a shop towel, like those shop paper towels. Now these, and I cut it, and then I just laid the epoxy over it, so that way when I do go with the fiberglass over top, I don't have a hole that I'm filling, because that'll harden. I don't know if it'll adhere to the fleece itself, but I mean, it's worth a shot. Worst case, it comes off and I'll just still have the hole there. So that's what I'm gonna work with for now. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna run the wires on the inside, and I think that's the hardest thing I have to do at this point. And I still have to wire up the amp for the subwoofer. I haven't done that yet because I haven't had sub box in my car to run the amp. I mean, to run the subwoofer. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna check around for like any air pockets or any air holes. Gonna be very generous with the resin over like the staples or whatever. Maybe with like a bit of fiberglass. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna call this a different video or have it like all in one. If it's all in one, it's gonna be like an hour long, so it'd be easier to have like 2-3 episodes. I'm more excited to start on the Audi. Like, this is just something that's been like on my mind all the time. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, it's something that's been on my mind for a while. I've been wanting to start on the Audi since I got it, and things just kept happening to the point where I couldn't get it done. Now I have no excuse. Mine is like just getting this done so I could get the stuff out the shop, and then I wanted to get all my interior back in the 350 because I had a lot of the stuff out for the speakers and all that stuff. So and I'm probably still not done. I gotta take it all back out to run the subwoofer wire. It's already ran. I just gotta hook it up. I don't have the power and ground hooked up for that amp at all, but it's in there. And yeah, I think we're gonna be at a pretty good point. And I have some pretty sick stuff coming for the Audi if everything goes as planned. Let's just say I'm gonna have to order a lot more fiberglass. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much stuff, so we're just gonna call it there. In case I do make this a separate video, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.